The word of God says, put on the full armor of God so that you'll be able to resist the enemy. Most of us, we make this mistake by thinking that you don't have enemies. Contrary spirits are everywhere. Contrary spirits or contrary powers are everywhere, and they are confronting your life. Why do you think that the word of God tells us to put on the full armor of God so that we'll be able to resist the enemy when he attacks? It is because there will always be contrary spirits that are contradicting your life. So when you put on the full armor of God, brethren, you will be better equipped to resist the enemy. When you put on the full armor of God, remember that you are clothed spiritually. And when you are clothed spiritually, the enemy can see it. He knows that even if he attacks, you will put up a fight. He won't attack you and find it easy because you are putting on the full armor of God. When you are putting the full armor of God, brethren, you will be able to resist the enemy. You thinking that you don't have enemies, that is a wrong way of thinking, because we all have enemies, contrary spirit. And these are monitoring spirits. They are monitoring your life 24/7. And they are looking at you, waiting to see you at that moment when you are most vulnerable, at your lowest, weakest point. That is when they approach you and they attack, wanting to destroy what you have. Hence, you should put on the full armor of God so that you'll be able to resist the enemy when he attacks. We all have enemies. Don't you ever think that you don't have them. That is why the word of God tells us that put on the full armor of God so that you'll be able to resist the enemy. Because at some point in your life, the enemy will have to attack. And if you are not putting on the full armor of God, you will become an easy target and the enemy will be able to destroy you. Hence, you should put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to resist. Let us look at this verse that says, before you is an open door for effective work, but the adversary has taken a permanent residence at that gate. These adversaries that is being talked about here, these are the contrary spirit, contrary powers that are working against your destiny. They are opposing your life. Everything that you are trying to do, they will try to put obstacles on your way so that you don't achieve your goals. These are contrary spirits. These are your enemies. That's why the word says, put on the full armor of God. In this verse, the Lord tells us that before you is an open door for effective work. But at that door, the adversary, your enemy, is stationed at that gate. And why do you think that the enemy is stationed at that gate? Is to oppose you, to oppose your progress in life, to divert you. That is the mission of the enemy being stationed at the gate of your life. So you have to put on the full armor of God so that you'll be able to fight back, so that you'll be able to resist the enemy. Because in your journey of life, the enemy at some point, he will try to attack. And if you are clothed with the word of God, if you are putting on the word of God, if you are putting on the full armor of God, you are clothed spiritually and you will be able to resist the enemy when he attacks. Don't you ever think that you don't have enemies. We all have them. So you have to put on the full armor of God. That is your divine shield of protection. May you remain blessed.